the constituent colleges. Okay, the data to be prepared or data to be uploaded or everything will be the same for all the three categories, whereas the points, the credit points vary from university to autonomous institution and other affiliated and constituent universities. For better understanding, I am going to present affiliated college credit points, affiliated college points, then whatever the value you have taken for affiliated college, that equally shared by the university and autonomous institutions. Okay, the 350 points of the second criterion will be distributed about 7 headings: student enrollment and profile 40 marks, catering to students diversity 50 marks, teaching learning process 50 marks, teacher profile and quality 60 marks each, evaluation process and reforms 30 marks, student performance and learning outcomes 60, and the student satisfaction survey 60. Okay, with this small introduction, I will move to each heading wise. In each heading wise, what are the information we need to collect it, what are the information we need to upload it, and how will you calculate the points, how will you calculate the each subdivision of uh, each is subdivision of criterion 2, and other things I will explain one by one. Okay, so the first category, student enrollment and profile 40 marks, that the 40 marks will be distributed under two headings 20-20 each. In case of university, it is distributed 10 and 10, and in case of autonomous institution, it goes to 10-10. Okay, for university it is goes to 5-5, then autonomous institution it goes to 10-10, whereas in affiliated and constituent institution it goes to 20-20. So the first one is average enrollment percentage. So this is the actually what percentage of student made admission for the last 5 years. Okay, suppose if you are planning to submit NAC document at present, then last 5 years, last passed out batch, till the last passed out batch, you have to calculate. This means that I will give a small here. So 5 years data from 2015-16, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, 19-20. These 5 years data to be presented. Courses and 5 PG courses. The program program code that is supplied by the attached institution or affiliated institutions, then number of seats actually sanctioned by UGC or AICTE, and number of students admitted. Number of students admitted, you find the total of column 3 and column 4, and each year you have to calculate the average percentage of admission made during 2015-16, which is equal to number of students admitted during the year 2015-16 divided by total number of seats sanctioned. This is a formula we have to follow. The percentage of here, the percentage per year equal to total number of students admitted divided by total number of sanctioned seats into 100. Suppose 1000 seats, suppose the sanctioned seats may be 1000, but you have admitted only 880, then the average for that particular year is 880 divided by 1000, you will get 88%. So in this you have to fill all the five academic years 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, and we have to calculate average percentage of admission made during the year 15-16 separately, 16-17 separately, and till 19-20 separately. And also you have to calculate the overall percentage for the last 5 years, percentage of admission made for the cumulative percentage for the last 5 years, which is equal to percentage of, already we have calculated year wise percentage, then summing of all year wise percentage divided by 5, you will get the overall percentage or the cumulative percentage of admission for the made by the last 5 years. Okay, so here the student details of this one, the number of students admitted 53, 25 like this. So these informations year wise you can supplied and uploaded during the NAAC submission. So when coming to the second part of 2.1 category, average percentage of seats filled against the seats reserved for various category. So this is whether you have to follow or the institution have to follow the reservation policy or not. Okay, so this table you have to fill. Okay, suppose if it is 1,000, the number of seats sanctioned for a particular institution is 1,000, then percentage scheduled caste 15 percentage seats to be filled by scheduled caste, then 2.5 percentage may be filled with scheduled tribes, then 27 percentage is OBC, then others is general. If the institution is a minority institution, then others category, other category, the number of students, number of seats filled by the minority student, that is coming under other category. If the institution other than the minority institution, you left blank for others column. Okay, so this is the actual. For example, if it is in 1,000 sanctioned institution, so this is 15% means 150, 2.5 means 25, 27 percentage means 270, then rest of the seats are general category. But this is the actual number of seats earmarked for reserved category as per the government order or the state government rule. But what percentage of reserved candidates admitted during the academic years? Here also we have to calculate the 5 years data. 5 years data from 2015-16, 16-17 till 19-20. So for 2015-16, you have to fill what percentage of seats to be filled as per the guidelines of this one. But actually, this is what number of seats filled as per the admission procedure. Then you have to calculate. This is a formula we need to calculate. Here also you have to calculate year wise. This is a percentage per year equal to actual number of students admitted from the reserved categories divided by number of seats earmarked for reserved category as per government GOI or the state government rule into 1,000. So you have to calculate year wise percentage. 2015, what will be the percentage of reserved students admitted during the year 2015-16, 16-17 till 19-20. Then you have to calculate average percentage of then cumulative percentage. We need to calculate the cumulative percentage. The average percentage of reserved students admitted for the last 5 years, which is equal to the sum of all averages calculated year wise divided by 5, you will get the cumulative average. Okay, here the file, we need to upload the file, all the students with community details to be uploaded as far as 2.1 is concerned. Okay, so as per the 2.1 student enrollment and profile, the 40 marks goes to one is average number of admissions made during the last 5 years and also number of average percentage of reserved categories filled during the last 5 years. Now come to the second one, second category, catering to the students' diversity. Here 20 marks goes to university, 30 marks goes to autonomous institution, 50-50 goes to constituent institutions. Okay. So now 2.2 catering to the students' diversity, that 50 marks goes to two subheadings. One is for institution accesses the learning levels of the students. So first one is admission process. Second one is categorizing the students' level of learnings. Then second one is student faculty ratio. Okay, so 30 marks goes to understanding or categorizing the learning levels of the student. Second one, teacher finding the student faculty ratio. Okay, so first one is I will explain. This is we need to give a write up 500 words of write up you have to give. What are the ways to identify the candidate, that whether the candidate is an advanced learners or the slow learners. Okay, examination, here I have given one rough document for identifying the slow learners and the fast learners. Okay, examination is only the advanced learners are identified based on the performance in the university examination of previous semesters or the internal examination. This is one of the mechanisms followed to identify whether the candidate is potentially capable of doing things or not. Okay. Once you can identify the level of students, once you can identify the student, so some students in a 60 members classroom, 15 may be identified as fast learners, and the rest of the 45 may be identified as the slow learners. Then teachers' responsibility to engaging them separately for the advanced learners as well as the slow learners. Okay, for if it is an advanced learners, then what are the things we want to do for the advanced learners, because they are above the normal students. Then guiding for the career planning you have to provide. Then discussion or seminar on the advanced topic may be provided. Guiding and encouraging to communicate research papers in conference and journals. Then guiding the students for GATE and competitive. Then teachers' responsibility, or teachers educate them of the importance of the GATE and other competitive examination. This is for arts and science college. If it is an engineering college, then you give a provision of the students to write GRE, TOEFL, and other things. Then training programs for gaining advanced technical know-how. Okay, so then our responsibility to identify those students to participate webinars or seminars if you have anywhere in the globe. Nowadays everything is available on online. Then ask them to participate those competitive seminars or webinars. Then encouraging to participate in various symposiums like quiz, poster presentation, conferences, inter-institution competition, and etc. Okay, so here I have given a point by point, but you have to give a consolidated write-up up to 500 words. The similar way one can identify the slow learners. Slow learners are also identified based on their performance in the university examinations of previous semester or internal examinations. What are the measures for improving the? So here the role of counselor is more important here, because they are educationally slow learners. Then our responsibility, teachers' responsibility to increase the moral level of those students to improvise their level up to the institution level. Okay, so remedial or extra classes are conducted with appropriate focus on the subject or topic codes in which the students are found to be slow learners. Then individual academic counseling is done by concerned subject teacher. Then help desk may be arranged for slow learners to indicate where we'll go to, which time of special classes conducted. Those informations will be available in the help desk. Student study groups, this is another very important part. Study groups to be formed with a combination of fast learner and slow learners, so that slow learners may pick up from the fast learners and increasing the capability to some extent. Then personal counseling is done. This is very, very important. Counseling is important. Through a mentoring, a separate heading coming in the later part also. Then some points may be given in the mentor mentee part. I will discuss during the time scheme, which take care of the student's mentor, maintain the entire academic record of the student, which is also conveyed to the parents time to time by the teacher guardian. Slow learners are counseled and motivated by, this is a very important, they have properly guided and counseled and motivated by the mentors. So those informations are consolidated and given a 500 words write-up. Then come to the student faculty student ratio. So how will you calculate faculty student ratio? Okay, so all full-time teachers to be considered for all full-time teachers to be considered for the faculty student calculations. Okay, the faculty members on contract basis may also be considered, provided those experienced not less than 3 years and their salary in the contract faculty salary at bar with the regular faculty members. Then for engineering side, the faculty members with PhD or MTech qualification alone to be considered for faculty student ratio calculations. BTech and MSc will not be considered. Then visiting faculty may also be considered for faculty student ratio calculation, provided the visiting faculty has to be worked for on a full-time basis at least a semester, and those count to be marked as 0.5 instead of 1. Okay, the desirable ratio and the faculty. So here, how will you calculate? For example, I will tell you. For example, an IT department. Then the number of sections may be n may be the number of sections. Okay, you have to calculate the number of credit points or the number of periods. Okay, most probably in affiliated colleges are followed by the number of periods. The number of periods allotted for the degree course, either the odd semester or even semester 135 or 246 divided by the faculty workload. The regular faculty workload, you have to consider regular faculty amount should be, you can also take it the workload of science and humanities, management and other things. Okay, those value which is coming under less than 15. Okay, the desirable ratio is 1:15 for arts and science colleges. For PG diploma, it's to be 1:25, and the pharmacy colleges, the ratio will be 1:20. Uh-huh. Um, audience, is it audible? Is it
Yes, sir.
audible?
Audible, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Audible.
yeah,
You go.
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir, it is audible, sir. You can
yeah.
proceed.
Okay, okay. So for checking only, I am doing. Okay. So now I will
Yes, sir.
move to
Yes.
the third. Yeah. Now I will move to the third category, teaching learning process. 50 marks will be allotted for teaching learning process. That 50 marks will be allotted under three categories: 20, 15, 15. Okay. One is the first 20 marks goes to student-centric methods such as experimental learning, participate learning, and problem-solving methodologies. Then second one is teachers use ICT enabled tools for effective learning teaching process, 15 marks. And this is, I already told you that ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issues. Okay, 15 marks. Okay, so I will tell you the student-centric methods. Okay, our curriculum design designed in such a way that there is a quantum of learning process based on experimental learning. experimental learning, if anything learned through experiment, that will retain a longer time than a theoretical study. This is a well-known fact. Okay, so what percentage of, for example, in computer science or IT department, there are certain subjects we need lab facility to understand much more on the theoretical concept rather than theoretical alone. Okay, then that's why in most of the foreign universities, each course given as an experimental learning format, namely semi theory, semi lab format. Semi theory, semi lab. The advantages of semi theory, semi lab model is whatever the theoretical concept learned during the class hours, that also be practiced through the experiment, so that the conceptual wise the students will be expertise during the learning time itself. Then second one is participate learning. Participate learning is nothing but we allow the students to participate inner around the world. Okay, so already we identified certain students or fast learners. Those students are ask them to participate in seminar or webinar conducted anywhere in India, or ask them to present a paper. This is a participation. For example, some students may be acting as a TCS ambassador or IBM ambassador. They are not only propagating their product, but their intention is to explain those concepts, facilities those concepts in their peer groups, along with the other products. The merits and demerits of other products can also be established and propagated. So participating learning is also one way of learning the students to improvise their knowledge. Then problem solving. So this is very, very important. Now the DNP department and a special group of people are motivate the students to increasing the problem solving skill. This is very essential for if any students going for a placements. Okay, so you can consolidate what type of facility will be provided for students learning experimental, students learning through participation, students learning through problem solving skills, and the consolidated statement may be given here as 500 words. Then ICT teaches whether the ICT enabled tools, how in what way the ICT enabled tools to increase the efficiency of teaching learning process. Okay, certain subjects. I'm not telling all subjects. Certain subjects, especially in medical related field, the ICT enabled or live operation or cross section of brain or whatever things, those things are effectively teach through ICT enabled things. But in whereas in other subjects for mathematics and other things, ICT enabled way is not an effective way of teaching. Okay, I will explain it here. Some this effective this is ICT enabling teaching methodologies and advanced technology are being followed by the faculty members in classrooms. Then academic plan with budget, lesson plan, lab annuals, question banks with the solution are made available at the beginning of the semester. Okay, through this call it as an academic book. Then multimedia teaching aids like LCD projector, classroom with internet enabled computer laptops, tablets systems are usually in use in classrooms. Then this is another very important. Now the government of India initiated many courseware. Okay, NPTEL is MOOC. These two are Delnet spoken tutorial. So there are government of India initiated and initiated to form a storage of the eminent professors from MIT, IIT, or IASC handling some important subjects in engineering and arts and science. Okay, our university or institutions purchase hard disk to save, because those things are open source. Lists are available and open source. MOOC, MOOC tutorials are available in open source. Okay, so then the relevant lecture series are downloaded, and that will be placed in library, so that students can take the lectures from eminent professors, handling the subjects from the eminent professors from NIT or IIT or IISc. Okay, then then e-assignment, college also provides books, journals, e-books in the library. That is one way of learning, e-learning mechanism through improvising the students teacher student learning process. Then all department conduct seminars, workshops, guest lectures on the new development in the core subject for effective learning and effective teaching and learning by the faculty members and the students in each semester. Then seminar hall is equipped with multimedia facilities using ICT tools. Invited talks and webinars are conducted in seminar hall using nowadays, even in 90s and all. If we conduct an international conference, we called from eminent speakers from other world of the countries, and we call them. Then for 1 hour lecture, we investing lot of money to call them here. Then spending lot of money to 1 hour talk. Nowadays, the Skype or Zoom or a lot of open source mechanism available, even from any corner of the world. We can get it from the eminent speakers, uh, eminence lectures. Okay, so the ICT enabled things are also useful for teaching learning process. Then the third one is the mentor mentee. So 15 to 20 students will be allotted to each faculty member. Faculty member act as a mentor. They have maintained a counseling record. Then periodically, the counselor periodically conduct the counseling every fortnight or a month, and recorded their problems, whether the slow learners, what difficulty they will face during the learning process, is there any problem with the faculty. So all these are recorded in the counseling records, and the teachers, the mentor role is to here to resolve all those problems and make the students free to learn. Okay, so that if you take a counseling record of a particular student, that will tell you the entire history of the student for during his study period. Okay, the role of counselor is very important. That will still we know what difficulty to get IIT seats. Still, there are many suicide happened because of this not properly counseled. Okay, even though they are very intelligent, extraordinary intelligent, but the proper counseling is required, because they have suffered academically or any other. The counselor or mentor is the only way to resolve those problems. Okay, the role of counselor and the counseling sample counseling record to be uploaded during the NAAC submissions. Okay, the teaching learning process 50 marks will goes to the learning mechanisms. Then in what way the ICT tools are effectively used for teaching learning process, and the role of mentor mentee, and the counseling records to be importance of counseling records, and that should be uploaded. Now come to the fourth category. 60 marks will be allotted 20, 20, 20 under three categories. Teaching profile and quality. Okay. The first 20 marks goes to average number of average faculty members appointed appointed during the year 2000, or the faculty members average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned post during the last 5 years data. Okay, this is the format given by NAAC. So all full-time teachers, you have to enter it one by one. Name of the full-time teacher, their PAN number, designation, year of appointment, nature of appointment is permanent or temporary, or is the name of the department, number of experience, sorry, total years of experience in the same institution, and the last one is the teacher still serving the institution or not. Okay, so all the full-time teachers are filled this one as a still filled one, and you have to calculate the average percentage of full-time teachers. Suppose during the year 2015-16, okay, and the number of sanctioned posts may be 100, but the full-time teachers appointed till now is 80. Then the average percentage of full-time teachers against against the sanctioned post equal to 80 divided by 100, 80%. Similarly, you have to calculate 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, and also you have to calculate average the cumulative average percentage of full-time teachers against the sanctioned post during the last 5 years. Then we have calculated the individual years. Then summing up all individual years divided by 5, you will get a cumulative years. So the first 20 marks going to average percentage of full-time teachers against the sanctioned post. Okay, every year. Second year you have to calculate what will be the sanctioned strength, what actually have. Then similarly, third year, fourth year, fifth year. Then second 20 marks goes to, say 20 points goes to average percentage of full-time faculty with PhD qualification. Okay, MTech is sufficient for teaching engineering colleges, but the next 20 points goes to average percentage of full-time teachers with PhD qualification, or doctorate of science, or this one. Okay, here also we can calculate 5 years data. Okay, during 2000, average percentage of faculty with the PhD qualification during the year 15-16 equal to number of full-time teachers with the PhD or DSc or DLit, then DM, MCH, these are all the medical college divided by total number of faculty members. Suppose in a 100 faculty strength institution, uh, 70 faculties with PhD qualification, then average percentage of faculty with PhD qualification in the year during the year 15-16 equal to 70 by 100 equal to 70%. Similarly, you have to calculate 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, and 19-20, and also find the average, the cumulative average of percentage of the faculty members with PhD qualification for the last 5 years equal to, we have calculated individually, and then summing up all individual percentage of faculty with PhD qualification divided by 5, you will get consolidated or cumulative averages. Okay, here you have to upload the file, the faculty with the PhD qualifications. Okay, PhD qualification, year of completions, those things are. Then next 20 marks, goes to average. The next 20 marks goes to average years of experience for the full-time teachers. Average teaching experience of full-time teachers in the same institution, that 20 marks, the last 20 marks. So teaching profile and quality 60 marks, that will share the 20. The last 20 marks is called. So already in column 1 in 2.4.1 we have filled this format. Here we have total years of experience in the same institution. Okay. In the last 20 marks, we need not calculate 15, 16, 16, 17 till 19, 20. We need not calculate. At the end of the year, suppose if I'm 19, 20 is sufficient to calculate 19, 20. 19, 20 you can calculate. Then total number of years, you can find the total of this one. Total of this column divided by total number of full-time teachers. This is a formula, simple formula. Sum of total experience of full-time teachers in the same institution divided by the number of full-time teachers. Okay, so this the last 20 points goes to average teaching experience of full-time teachers in the same institutions. Okay, so 2.4 is over now. Now I will move to 2.5, evaluation process and reforms. The 50 marks goes to three headings, 15, 15 and 15, 15 and 20. Okay, so here mechanism, sorry, here only 30, here is only 30 marks. Evaluation process and reform goes to 30 only. 15, 15, so this 30 marks will be divided under two headings, 15, 15 each. First one is mechanism of, here also we have to give a write-up, 500 words write. Mechanism of internal assessment is transparent and robust in terms of frequency and mode. Okay. So first of all, the write-up consists of the following information. Okay. First one, what will be the ratio of internal and external or end semester examination followed? In most of the affiliated colleges, my perception is 20 and 80. For autonomous institution, it may be 30, 70 or 60, 40. Our institution having 50 and 50. Okay, so you have to clearly specify what procedure you have to follow your students to get 20 marks internal and 80 marks internal. For example, I will explain it how will you get that 20 marks. Okay, in a 60 working day college, the two internal tests will be conducted after every 30 working days. Okay, the first internal test will be conducted for 2 hours test, 2 hours test of the first 50% of the syllabus of syllabus, and the 7.5 marks will be counted for the internal. 7.5 means 7.5 marks will be counted from the first test. Then second test, internal test will be conducted the remaining 30, after the remaining 30 working days, and 7.5 marks will be taken from the second monthly internal test. Then 5 marks will be given to the faculty member. The faculty members 5 marks will be allotted based on either the assignment or quizzes or seminars or any other mode of testing their students' knowledge to assign 5 marks. Okay, this is a procedure you have to give. What institution, because this is vary from institution to institution. Our institution having 3 best 2 out of 3. 20 marks, 20 marks, 10 marks goes to assignment and the other things. End semester examination covering the entire portion of the syllabus is a 3 hours examinations. So those details are the internal, external, what split up we have to follow, internal, external, then what mechanism we have to follow your students to get 20 marks internal and 80 marks external. Those write-up will be given in the first part of the evaluation process and the reforms. The second 15 marks goes to the sorry. The second 50 marks goes to the mechanism to deal with internal examination related to related grievances is transparent time bound and efficient. This is also you have to specify, because it is an examination, it is an examination related things. The students may be copying. So what should be? So here everything should be. Here also you have to give a write up. Okay, if any students copied from the examination, then what mechanism the institution will follow to resolve those problems. Okay, for example, the institution may, the registrar may be, or the head of the institution may be forming a team headed by the concerned department head, then one subject experts, whether the students copying from the piece of paper to the paper, then verification part, then concern the subject experts may be a member of the team, then the teacher who got the copying, okay, that also is a member, and any other member. It's a discretion of the institution head form the team, and it's a time bound within this one. And then once the team has identified that a student is guilty, then what punishments to be given, whether 0 mark will be given to that particular examination, or the entire examination will be cancelled or marked as 0, or this is purely discretion of the institution head. Okay, so that everything should be framed as a everything should be framed as a rule. This is a common rule, no one to penalize. Okay, no one to penalize. The rule is common for everyone. If the students copied a particular exam, then he vigorously go to that process, and finally whatever the punishment given by the team, or depending upon the intensity of the problem, then the team has to decide whether the single examination will be cancelled or the entire examination hall. This is not only a monthly test, it's also the end semester examination. Those informations or those rules and regulation, everything should be recorded, should be recorded in the second part of evaluation process and reforms. Now come to the third. Now come to the third 2.6, student performance and learning outcome. 60 marks. Okay, and the students performance and learning outcome 60 marks. This will go to three headings: 15, 15, 30. Okay, so first one is the first 15 marks goes to teachers and students are aware of stated program and course outcomes of the program offered by the institution. This is very, very important, because every department, the institution has vision and mission, and every department has its own vision and mission. Okay, I will give one sample recorded one here. Okay, the vision and the mission of the sorry, here information here, vision and the mission of IT department. Okay, IT department. The vision here is to produce globally competent. So before entering the all students entering into the IT department, they might know the vision and the mission of the every lab or every room. They have to project vision and the mission of the project, vision and the mission of the department. Okay, vision of the department to produce globally competent, social and ethical practicing graduates adapting technological changes to solve contemporary issues. Mission of the project: collaborate with the global professional bodies for recognition. This is very, so I am given you one sample here. Okay, depending upon the institution, depending upon the motto of the institution, the vision and the mission will vary. Okay, then second mission is work with the local NGOs to do social surveys, design curriculum to inculcate ethical practices in technological and behavioral aspects, industrial collaboration to keep abreast of technology, engage with the stakeholders to understand contemporary issues and propose technical solution. This is vision and mission. Okay, now we need to have here the course outcomes. Then this is very important. Course outcome is different from the program outcomes. In 2.6.2 and 2.6.1, there's a mapping is available. I will tell you once I am mapping, I will show it at the end. Okay, program outcomes. IT department has its own program outcomes. Then PSO is a program specific outcomes, and COs. COs means course outcomes. Suppose every course there is an course outcome. Okay, at the end of the course, the student can able to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a way you have to write. Okay, so for example, the program outcomes. Now I will come to. I am consolidating 2.6.1 and 2.6.2 because 2.6.3 is entirely different. Okay, so program outcomes. I am going in sequence so that one can easily understand. Okay, program outcomes. So this describe what students are
Dr. K,
expected to
sir.
know. Tell me, sir.
Dr. K, sir. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Srinath, how much time you need to complete? How much time is left to complete your presentation?
So
And then we need to spend 10 minutes per question and answer also. Kindly plan accordingly.
okay, at what another I need to get another 10 to 15 minutes. I am coming 2.6. Then one more heading I need to
Okay.
finish it. Okay, at the maximum of 10
Can
minutes,
plan
I will
accordingly so
finish
that
it.
we'll reserve some time for Q&A also. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, okay. The program outcomes
Okay.
describe what students are expected to know, are able to do by the time of graduation from the program. Okay, the program. So this is the 12 headings are normally used in many of the curriculum. One is engineering knowledge, then problem analysis, design and development of solution, conduct investigation of complex problems, modern tool usage, engineers and society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and finance, and long-term learning. So, okay, so all programs, we need to give you a provision of understanding the subject, the core subject, then also given the provision to serve as a society, provision to learn environment and sustainability, provision to know given the ethics, and provision to work with the individual as well as the team, and the communication part, and the long-term learning. This is the program outcomes. And these three are the specific outcomes. We consolidated, even though we are addressing core part or ethical part or societal part, then these three are the specific outcomes: to develop and test and deploy application software through mini project, develop to develop a research attitude by understanding existing research papers or publish new research ideas, anticipate the changing direction of information technology, and gain knowledge of new aspects from the individual organizations. Okay, now I am coming to the particular. This is every course. There is a course objective. CO is called it as a course objective. Upon successful completion of the each course, student will able to know. So this is for computer graphics paper. Students should know the basic concepts of graphs, then weaving, projection, 2D and 3D transformation, then coloring models, analyzing model, the mathematical foundation concepts of this one, then identifying the typical graphical pipeline, then everything to be, then there are a lot of open source available, especially for graphics part. OpenGL programs to whatever the type of the image or whatever the animation one can create through the open source. So at the end of the program, students should know those things. Okay, now I am combining. This is the mapping, and the course outcome is the lower level. Program education outcome is upper level. Then there is a mapping of this a mapping pipeline. This will link with program objectives. So all course outcomes addressed partially or fully to the program objectives and the program education objectives. Then I will tell you, this is the simple mechanism whether my course objectives address with program objectives or not. This is a monthly test format. I have my course objectives has my course has four course objectives 1, 2, 3, 4. This 25 marks allotted to this one. Need not address my monthly test need not address all the 12 program objectives. But this is the average score, average marks scored by the candidates. I'm a number of questions attended for this one attended, say this one attended. I'm counting average. Then the total of this value divided by 25. Then this course. Then average percentage of this course attained by the students to the program objectives. So you have to specify. You have to specify this 2.6.1 is the course outcomes for all courses. You have to all courses you have to specify the course outcomes, and also the mapping to be done the course all the course outcomes along with the program objectives and the program specific objectives. Now come to the third one is 2.6.3 is 30 marks goes to average pass percentage. This is the record the at the end of the final year students. This calculation is only a final year students. At the end of 2015-16 passed out student, 16-17 passed out student, till 1920 passed out students. Then you have to, we must know the number of students appeared in 15-16, number of students passed, then this is a formula you have to calculate. Average percentage of average pass percentage for the students in the year 15-16. Total number of final year students who passed the university examination divided by total number of students appeared into 100. And also you can calculate cumulative percentage. Then summing of all the 5 individual percentage divided by 5, you will get the overall percentage. Okay, then I will go to the last one. This is only a survey. Okay, 2.7 60 marks goes to online student satisfaction survey regarding to teaching learning process. Okay, but our institution made 2 surveys, one for curriculum reformation and another one for student satisfaction survey. Here here I have presented both, but for the time constraint I am only explain because they required NAC required only the alumni survey form. Department of this one. Then this is a guideline given by the NAC. Okay, this is the all the questionnaire prepared by me based on prepared by me. So this the questionnaire may vary from institution to institution. So every questionnaire to be assigned 5-point scale, 1 to 5. 1 is poor, 5 is excellent. The 10 point here, the 10 questionnaires questionnaire have been prepared here. Overall rating overall rating for attainment of your program education objectives and program objectives. This is purely a curriculum related one. Instead of curriculum meeting the industry needs, your ability to apply knowledge and design computing system or process to meet the desired specification and needs. Benefit from value added certification, workshops and training programs conducted during your course. Your ability to use techniques, skills and modern engineering tool necessary for engineering practice in your organization. Benefit from, so here at the rating you have to, the students must mark 1 to 5 scale. Then extent of ethical or social or environmental values inculcated, helping you to relate computer engineering issues with the societal needs. Then any other suggestion for improvement signed by the student. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Arun, are you able to hear me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, so thank you very much, Dr. Kesar, for your nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Now let us open the floor for question answers. Audience, now the participants can throw the questions now to Dr. Ravichandran. Maybe others also we can help and support if anything to be answered from our end also.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Good morning, sir. Sir, myself Dr. Uma from M. Kumarasamy College of Engineering.
Okay, madam.
Sir, I'm having one doubt regarding that CO/PO mapping and uploading, sir, during SSR submission.
Okay.
Hello?
Tell me, madam.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am. Uma ma'am, you can go ahead. Go ahead. It's audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, whether we need to upload all the department CO/PO mapping or sample we need to upload, sir?
No. All the courses offered by the department.
All the programs in the
courses
college
are
we need to
offered.
upload, sir.
Yeah. So program outcomes and program
sir.
education outcomes should be a common one. Then it's partially addressed the coring subject as well as the ethical part, then societal part, then group teamwork part and other things. Okay, wherever is applicable, you have to link mapping. Mapping should be done in all subjects.
In fact, in Shastra, we conducted an exclusive workshop for how to write the program and
Yes,
course
sir.
outcomes. See, every program, whether it's a BCom or a BBA or a BTech or whatever the course available in your campus, what is the ultimate aim of offering the program?
Okay,
At the end of 3-year study or a 4-year study, what you want your student to achieve? It is not merely teaching 32 subjects and giving away a degree and sending them out of our campus. There must be a clear-cut goal. Even in our IIT accreditation also, the UK team was very particular. What is your program expected outcome? Have you achieved the outcome or not? They are very particular to see how you measure the outcome.
Yeah.
So we used to nicely frame nice words in the vision, mission and program outcomes. நம்ம நல்லா அழகான இங்கிலீஷ்லாம் போட்டு எழுதிவோம் எல்லா காலேஜ்லயும். ஆனா அவங்க என்ன கேக்குறாங்க, நீங்க இந்த அவுட்கம் எப்படி வெரிஃபை பண்ணீங்க, எப்படி செக் பண்ணுனீங்க? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், அவர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வில் பிகம் சோஷியலி ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள் ஆர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வில் பிகம் 100% எம்ப்ளாயபிள் அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஒரு வார்த்தை நீங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா, ஒரு விஷன்லயோ இல்ல கோர்ஸுடைய அப்ஜெக்டிவ் சொன்னீங்கன்னா, திரும்ப அதை நீங்க அச்சீவ் பண்ணீங்களா இல்லையான்னு கேக்குறாங்க. அதை அச்சீவ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு என்ன ப்ரூஃப் கேக்குறாங்க.
குவான்டிடேட்டிவ் ப்ரூஃப் should be
அதனால நம்ம வந்து ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லா ரொம்ப பம்பாஸ்டிக்கான வேர்ட்ஸை சொல்லி ரொம்ப அன்ரியலிஸ்டிக்கான வார்த்தைகள் எல்லாம் போட்டு எழுதிடக்கூடாது. அதே நேரத்துல ஒவ்வொரு இப்ப நீங்க வந்து ஃபார் த பெனிஃபிட் ஆஃப் காலேஜஸ், நானும் காலேஜ்ல ஒரு பிரின்சிபலா தான் இருந்தேன், செல்ஃப் ஃபைனான்சிங் திருச்சியில, ஆர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் சயின்ஸ் காலேஜ். அங்க வந்து நம்ம வந்து கோர்ஸ்னாவே பிகாம் பிபிஏ சொல்லுவோம். ஆக்சுவலா ப்ரோக்ராம்ன்றது வந்து பிகாம் பிபிஏ பிடெக் எம்டெக் தான் ப்ரோக்ராம்னு சொல்றாங்க யூனிவர்சிட்டி சிஸ்டம்ல. கோர்ஸுங்கிறது சப்ஜெக்ட். நம்ம நார்மலா சொல்ற வார்த்தை வந்து கலோக்கியெல்லாம் சப்ஜெக்ட் தான் இங்க கோர்ஸ்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு சப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்குமே ஒரு அவுட்கம் இருக்கணும்,
கோர்ஸ் அவுட்கம் இருக்கணும்.
ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், வென் வி டீச் ஹியூமன் ரிசோர்ஸ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் நடத்துறேன், மார்க்கெட்டிங் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஒரு பேப்பர் நான் வச்சிருக்கேன் MBAலன்னா, அந்த பேப்பருடைய எக்ஸ்பெக்டட் அந்த பேப்பர் அந்த பையன் படிச்சு முடிச்ச உடனே என்ன செய்வார், என்ன தெரியும் அவருக்கு? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், மார்க்கெட்டிங் நடத்தி முடிச்ச உடனே அவர் அட்வர்டைசிங்னா என்னன்னு அவருக்கு தெரியும், அவரால் ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் காப்பியை டிராஃப்ட் பண்ண தெரியும், அவரால் போய் ஒரு பொருளை சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா வித்துட்டு வர முடியும். இப்படின்னு வந்து நம்மளை ஸ்பெசிஃபை பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க தியரட்டிக்கலா எதுவோ நடத்தி விட்டு நம்ம போயிடக்கூடாது, நமக்கு ஒரு அக்கௌண்டபிலிட்டி வேணும், டீச்சருக்கு ஒரு அக்கௌண்டபிலிட்டி வேணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ ரொம்ப அதை வந்து நீங்க யூ நீட் டு டூ எ ஒர்க் ஷாப். நல்லா எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பீப்புளை வெளியில இருந்து இன்வைட் பண்ணி எப்படி இந்த அவுட்கம்ஸ் எழுதணும்னு சொல்லி.
This is really an art. This is really art. How